It's Sunday afternoon and a hot one here at Black Hills Energy Stadium as the Sasquatch wrap up a four-game series against the Plainsmen, looking to improve to 4-0 in the second half. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm here with Blake Bullen and Ben Hill, a couple stormtroopers standing by my side here for Star Wars night, as the Sasquatch look to improve to 4-0 in the second half, taking on the Plainsmen. And the Sasquatch were able to capture a victory last night, improving to 3-0. And we'll take a look at how good the offense has been in our off-the-wall stats, and looking at the beginning of the year versus this last stretch for the Sasquatch, where the offense has been on fire. Let's take a look in the off-the-wall stats. See the numbers over the first 19 games of the season, a 9-9 record, and then over their last 10, 8-2, averaging 11.7 runs per game, courtesy of Sean Walfelt for both of those photos. And the average heavily in favor of the Sasquatch over their last 10 games. They've been on fire over this last stretch and now trying to improve to 4-0 in the second half if they can sweep the Plainsmen here today. So we'll have all the coverage for you right here on YouTube, on the Spearfish Sasquatch YouTube channel. Star Wars Night at the Ballpark. We'll have a whole bunch of themed things throughout our broadcast, so stick around. And the Sasquatch and the Plainsmen is coming up after this.
Is performed right here at Black Hills Energy Stadium.
It's a hot Sunday afternoon as the Sasquatch finish off this four-game set against the Plainsmen, trying to improve to 4-0 in the second half. It's also Star Wars night here at the ballpark, so you'll be able to see a whole bunch of Star Wars themed graphics on our broadcast for the remainder of this game. And with that being said, we'll take a look at how the Plainsmen will begin this ball game, and we'll take a look at their lineup here today. We've got the Imperial logo next to their starting lineup, but here's how it will line up. Jackson Brooks is the center fielder. He bats first. CJ Fish bats second. Luke Froelich bats third. Chris Ortega, the DH, he bats fourth. Jordan Massis is in right field. He bats fifth. Kyle Whitaker, the third baseman, bats sixth. Logan Worm will do the catching. He's batting seventh. Dean Samuels at second. He bats eighth. And then rounding out the order is the first baseman, Marcus Salazar. And that starting lineup is going against the starting pitcher today for the Sasquatch. It is number 31, Nathan Harb, who will be making his first start of the summer for the Sasquatch. We've talked about the arms departing the team as of late, the pitchers, Jackson Renz and others no longer with the team, and so Nathan Harb will get the start here today. You look at the numbers there, a 1-0 record, a 7.94 ERA, 2.12 whip, and 5 2/3 innings pitched. Last time out was against the Plainsmen, pitched 2 innings, didn't allow a run, and he also hit a 3-run home run and a 2-run double in that 26-6 victory back on June 27th. But looking at Nathan Harb, all 5 of his earned runs came in an outing against the Oahe Zap. So in his other 4 outings this summer, he's pitched 5 innings with only 1 run unearned, with 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. And talking with head coach Justice Scott today, you've got Harb making his first start of the year. He said that there really isn't much of a pitch count limit on him. He's going to try to get him through 5 innings, treat him like a starter. He's not going to work just 1 or 2. This is going to be him trying to work his role as a starter here today, and so maybe he'll be somebody that the Sasquatch can look to, as they have lost already a couple arms, like mentioned. Jackson Renz, Colin Anderson have departed, so Russell Peterson, Cade Bleeker seem to be the 2 that will be mainstays in the order, but outside of that, the rest will be remaining to be seen for the Sasquatch down the stretch. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Sunday afternoon, the 4:05 start. And we're going to hit that mark just on time, as it is 4:05 here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Left-handed hitting Jackson Brooks digs in against Harb. Harb comes set, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is swung on and fouled away, and we are underway. Brooks so far this season, it's been one of the few bats in the Plainsmen order that's been hitting the ball well. 10 for 33, that's a .303 batting average. Ball and a strike to count here to Brooks. Brooks second on the team in batting average, behind only Chris Ortega, but this is now the 10th game played for Jackson Brooks. Two balls and a strike. Sasquatch have been getting great pitching as of late. Yesterday was one of the best outings we've seen all summer. Russell Peterson, 9 strikeouts in yesterday's game. As Brooks flies one in the air to right center field. Going to be a long run for both Gostisha and Marcial. Drifting back towards the track, Gostisha makes the running catch over the shoulder as Jackson Brooks hit it well, but to right center field, and it comes up with just a flyout to begin the ball game. That'll bring up CJ Fish now, batting second in the order, to finish the point there on Russell Peterson in yesterday's outing. Peterson yesterday went 4 innings pitched. He didn't allow a hit, only 1 walk, struck out 9, and Sasquatch as a team beating the Plainsmen in yesterday's game by a final score of 10-1, and only 2 hits allowed for this pitching staff. As the ball is grounded to short, Danny Cook has trouble with it. Now he'll throw to first, but not in time. Fish will reach on the error. So 1 out base runner courtesy of an error for CJ Fish and the Plainsmen. Seeing a bit of the Sasquatch defense, we'll take a look at the whole defense for the Rebel Alliance for today's game, also known as the Spearfish Sasquatch. The outfield, Micah Wallet's in left, Braden Gostisha in center, and it's actually Javier Marcial who's in right, not Patrick Rakes. The infield third to first, Ben Tate is at third, Danny Cook, you saw him at short, Bachman second, Bowman at first, and it's Chance Green doing the catching today. Catching Nathan Harb. Ball fouled away off the bat of Luke Froelich. 0-1 the count. Froelich is in left field today, and it's been one of the better bats so far for the Plainsmen. Had that big 2-run home run. The only home run the Plainsmen have hit thus far. Home run and 6 RBIs on the season for Froelich. In on the hands, jammed over to first. Bowman fields it on the backhand. Harb will cover and step on the bag. Froelich's ground out advances Fish over to second, and now 2 away. Chris Ortega now bats. Cleanup hitter for the Plainsmen. Ortega has, like mentioned, him and Jackson Brooks have really been the two best bats so far this season. .316 batting average for Ortega. Harb's first pitch is in the dirt. Taken off for third is Fish. The throw down is short hopped and not in time. Fish, aggressive on the base pass, will advance on the wild pitch. We'll take a look at our key to the game today. Of course, courtesy of Star Wars. There were so many good ones to pick from. You could say use the force. Today we're going with Never Tell Me the Odds. The Sasquatch didn't make the playoffs because of their first half performance, but never tell me the odds. They're going to try to go out there and win the second half of the season. They're 3-0 right now and trying to make it 4-0 if they can get the win here today. Same also could apply to the Plainsmen, though. They're 0-10, so the odds are not in their favor as well to win a ball game, but you never know. Every day is a new day. Plainsmen still looking for that elusive first win of the season. See the numbers there for Ortega, like mentioned. .316 batting average. His OPS, 778. And you see, of course, the galactic symbol there for the Galactic Empire. We'll be using that for their bats today. This is hit well to center field, but again, deepest part of the ballpark, and Gasticia's got plenty of room to make the catch, and that will do it for the top of the first. No runs, no hits, one left on base. For the Plainsmen, Sasquatch bats coming up.
I want to shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time, I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Bottom of the first, here come the Sasquatch bats to the plate for the first time, and here's a look at their starting lineup. Leading things off, it's the familiar face, Ryan Bachman. Braden Gosticia will bat second. Patrick Rakes is the DH, he's batting third. Javier Marcial's in right, and he cleans up. Ben Tate bats fifth, Jordan Bowman sixth, and then bottom third of the order, Micah Wallett, Chance Green, and Danny Cook round out the order. That order going to get up against Reese Kirk, who is making his third start of the season and his fourth pitching appearance with the Plainsmen. 9 1/3 innings pitched to this point, an 0-1 record, and 13 runs, 11 of them earned. He misses badly on the first pitch. 7 walks to just 1 strikeout on the season. He's also hit 2 batters. So the command will be something to look out for. 8.25 ERA entering today. Misses the zone there inside to Ryan Bachman, so count goes now to 2-0. Bachman got the day off yesterday, so his numbers staying the same at .372 batting average for Bachman. 2 balls and a strike. We had Bachman up on yesterday's game. Join us for a bit of the game, and you see the full numbers there for Bachman. .993 OPS. He's got 18 RBIs, 32 runs scored, a pair of home runs as well. He watches that one float in there for strike 2. Sasquatch as a team have been in double figures each of their last 4 games, and they've scored 65 runs over that 4-game span. Bachman grounds this one to third. Whitaker will field it on a couple hops. The throw across the diamond is going to not be dug out at first base by Salazar. E5 there on the throw, and Bachman will reach. Got a taste of the defense. Let's look at the whole defense behind Kirk here today. Look at the Galactic Empire defense. There it is in the outfield. Luke Froelicks in left, Jackson Brooks in center, Jordan Massis out in right. You saw Whitaker's over there at third. CJ Fish joins him on the left side of the infield. Dean Samuels at first, Marcus Salazar at, or Samuel at second, Salazar at first. And then Logan Worm doing the catching of Kirk. Bachman off of first, reaching on an error. Braden Gostisha looks at strike one. This will be the last game for Braden Gostisha this summer. Again, making the start 2-hole in the order today. Oh, 1 is fouled away. Talking with head coach Justice Scott, he said it's a bit unfortunate this is the last game for Gostisha as his bat has started to come around over the course of the summer. He's always liked the at-bats that Gostisha has worked, but he's starting to see better results, raising his batting average close to 200 entering today. It's been sitting under 200 pretty much the whole year. Bachman a running lead off of first, and he's going to be picked off in a run down there between first and second. They'll flip over, and it'll be Dean Samuel who tags out Ryan Bachman, who's picked off of first base as he tried to get a running lead off of Kirk, and Kirk steps off at the right time, and the pickoff is the first out. So maybe not the cleanest baseball game to this point. An error for the Sasquatch defensively in the top of the first, an error in the bottom half of this inning by the Plainsmen, and then a base running mistake as well on Ryan Bachman. One out on the board, base is now empty for Gostisha. .179 batting average, but the .368 OPS. He does get on base fairly frequently, despite not getting a whole lot of hits. He does have a home run on the season as well. And he has worked 16 walks, which is second on the team, only behind Ryan Bachman. Fly it into center field, his counterpart defensively. Jackson Brooks ranging back, still back in. He'll make the run and catch. Headed towards the track in left center field. So a deep fly out for Braden Gostisha. Unfortunately, that's just sort of been how the summer's been going. Good contact to barrel, but unable to come up with a result, and 2 away. Still the bases will be empty, and Patrick Rakes coming up. Rakes was originally scheduled to be in yesterday's lineup, was taken out shortly before first pitch. Today in there as a DH, and he looks at ball 1. One of the more consistent bats this season for the Sasquatch. .357 batting average on the season. 2-0. The month of June, he's batting .333, so he's really just been consistent all year round. Over his last 11 games, he's batting .353, so just been a consistent .350 or so for the whole season. You saw the numbers there. 17 RBIs along with 15 runs scored. Counts 3-0. Javier Marcial due up next. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk, just missing low to Rakes. Walked on 4 pitches, and a 2-out base runner extends the inning for Javier Marcial. First inning runs have been a bit of a thing for the Sasquatch. Mentioned the 65 runs over their last 4 games. A lot of those coming in the first inning. Of course, 11 coming in the first in that 26-6 game. So here's Javier Marcial coming to the dish. With Rakes a small lead off of first. Drops in the first pitch there for a strike on Marcial. He's raised his batting average now up to .263. Considering he started the season 0 for 19, that means he would have had to have been hot in the month of June, and that's exactly right. He's 15 for 38, batting .395 in the month of June. Has raised that batting average to a very respectable .263. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 14 runs scored just in the month of June. Got to see him on the mound as well one time a couple nights ago. Pitched the 9th inning and hit 90 miles an hour in that 26-6 ball game, and he gets into one to left field. Back on it goes Froelich. At the track, he'll make the catch as Marcial gives it a ride, but comes up short of the long ball. And the Sasquatch leave a runner stranded in the bottom of the first. We've played 1, no score.
When you venture to spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Jordan Massis will lead off here in the top of the second. Massis, Whitaker, and Worm facing Harb for a second inning. First pitch lofted into left field, should be playable for Wallette, and he'll make the grab. One pitch and one out here for Nathan Harb. Working fairly quickly is Harb as his pitch count relatively low, considering this is a reliever and he's struggled a bit with command, so hopefully seeing today that maybe in a starting role he can settle in and command the zone maybe a little bit better. Today he's only thrown 12 pitches to record 4 outs, and 8 of those pitches have been strikes. So certainly been much more impressive. Probably the best we've seen stuff-wise from Nathan Harb so far this year. Talked about him in the top of the first inning, and 5 2/3 innings, 6 runs, 5 of them earned doesn't look great, but all 5 of those were in one outing. So one bad day on the mound changes the whole landscape of the numbers, and if you take that away and you look at what he's done the other 4 times out, he's been much more impressive. Ball and a strike is the count here to the third baseman, Kyle Whitaker. Today's beer batter here at the ballpark, and he swings and misses. A good batter to have as the beer batter, as he struck out 10 times this season across 32 plate appearances. So the numbers would tell you that's at least 1 strikeout on tap for Whitaker today. Will it come before the 7th inning is the question. 1-1. This is in the air to center field. Won't be a strikeout, but should be an out as Marcial drifts over. He gives way to Gostisha, who makes the catch from center. Pair of flyouts for Harb here in the second. Brings up the catcher, Logan Worm. That's already 4 flyouts. If you look at the out distribution today for Harb, 4 flyouts and a ground out, no strikeouts. And the only batter to reach base was C.J. Fish on the error. Ground ball to shortstop that Danny Cook could not field. Talked as well with head coach Justice Scott about removing Danny Cook from the game, the pair of errors on back-to-back plays. And he basically said it didn't have to do necessarily with the errors or the time of the game, and he did have a conversation with Danny after that, but really a lot of it was just about not wanting that to snowball into anything after the fact. He didn't want to see sometimes a pair of errors, you can lose your head out there and lose a bit of your focus, and he didn't want that to happen to Danny. So he wanted to take him out of the game. He said it was probably the toughest decision he had to make all year. 2-1 is popped up. This will go foul behind our booth along the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harb's not necessarily a strikeout guy when you look at his numbers entering today, so not expecting a whole bunch of strikeouts, but if he can command the zone and pitch to contact, an encouraging sign, and would keep his pitch count in low shape. 2-2. Line drive left field, ranging over is Wallette. He won't get there. He plays it on a hop, does well to cut it off, stops Worm from advancing further than first, and so Worm, a 2-out single, first hit of the ball game for either side, and he's aboard now with 2 away. Dean Samuel comes up. This is now his 9th game played for the Plainsmen. Been a mainstay in their order. This is the Plainsmen's 11th game overall, and Samuel, so far on the season, he is 6 for 25. .240 batting average for Samuel. We've seen him quite a bit in this 4-game set. This is the final game of 4 for the Sasquatch and the Plainsmen. The Sasquatch remaining at home after this game is over. Heading into the month of July. First, second, and third, they have the prospects here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Hoping that after today's game, they can be 4-0 on the season, and the Casper Spuds and Fremont Moo are in action. Spuds are out to an early 4-0 lead. That game's in the top of the first inning. If the Sasquatch win and the Moo lose, the Sasquatch would have possession of second in the division. What a play! That ball bounced off of Danny Cook at shortstop, and Ryan Bachman was able to stay on the bag and keep his foot on there to retire Samuel. What a heads-up athletic play with a little bit of luck from Cook and Bachman. You can score that 6-4, and the Sasquatch are out of the second with no damage done. Getting set here for the bottom half of the second inning. We're tracking a storm as well that's coming in from the west side. Our owner, Eric Schmidt, said that there was a chance it could hit us around 5 o'clock, and the way it's trending, it is headed our direction, but hopefully we'll be able to avoid it. If it comes, it would come about 40 minutes from now, so we'll see how much of this ball game we can get through to that point. At the pace we're moving, I guess there's a small chance that we could even finish the 5th inning and officially have a ball game if the rain were to be strong enough that both managers decided to call the game at that point. Ben Tate is the leadoff hitter here to begin the bottom half of the second inning, and you saw the numbers for him this season. Prior to this pitch, .262 batting average on the season. As he skies one to shallow right, Samuel goes back from second, and he'll make the catch. 1 up, 1 down, the bottom of the second for Kirk, who's worked an efficient first inning and continued that into the second. Only base runners the Sasquatch got in the first was a leadoff error. Ryan Bachman reached, but he was picked off. And then Patrick Rakes drew a 2-out walk. Bowman is hit by a pitch. First pitch plunks him, and so another base runner without a hit for the Sasquatch. Bowman is aboard. Brings up Micah Wallett now, the 7-hole hitter in the order. Wallett, one of those guys who might see a little bit more time after Gostisha departs. Another outfielder on this squad. Ben Green out of the lineup today. He'll probably see the bulk of the time in those big key series at the end of the year when the Moo and Spuds come to town. As Wallett takes ball 1. Numbers on the season for Wallett, not great. He's batting .190, .407 for 36, but .326 on base percentage as he, similarly to Gostisha, able to work good at bats. He waves and misses there. Count goes to 1-1. He's also just, oh, look at that. I put my head down. I don't even know exactly what happened there. They threw the ball back to Kirk, and he went quickly over to first base, and just back in time was Jordan Bowman. Almost another mistake over at first base by the Sasquatch. As they get away with it, now the count staying 1-1. Wallette into left field. This might get down. Coming on is Froelich. He won't get there. Drops in front of him. He has trouble with it, but not enough for anybody to move up. A single for Wallette. Improves his batting average, and now 2 runners aboard. That's the first hit of the game for the Sasquatch. First and second, and the catcher, Chance Green, will come up. Green hasn't seen a whole bunch of playing time as of late, with a couple catchers on the roster, Brinkley Evans, Jake Dempsey, and Nolan Ackerman, the other 3 backstops that the Sasquatch have. Chance Green made his last start back on the 27th. And prior to that, it was the 22nd that he appeared in the game. So only a couple starts over the past few weeks. Green on the season, a 167 batting average. He's 7 for 42. 9th spot in the order. Waiting on deck, and Danny Cook if the Sasquatch can keep this inning going. Drops in there for a strike. Here's the 1-1, and this one goes off the helmet of Green. He didn't move. He takes it right on the top of the head. Second hit by pitch of the inning for Reese Kirk, and the Sasquatch now have loaded them up with Danny Green coming up, or Danny Cook, pardon me. Cook already an error in this game defensively, and so I'm sure he'd love to make up for that, though it didn't come back to hurt the Sasquatch. No runs on the board for the Plainsmen. The corners come in here on Cook. Looks at a first pitch in the dirt, blocked by Worm. Look at what Danny Cook has done this season. 359 batting average. He just came off of winning Player of the Week last week. He batted .562 last week with a 1.213 OPS. That improves his season batting average, like you see, all the way up to 359 as Worm is shaken up behind the dish after taking that ball. Didn't see where it got him. Putting his body on the line, as catchers always do, to save a run. Danny Cook, he started off the season, he was 2 for 14 over his first couple games, but after that, 12 for 25 stretch over his last 8 games, 480 batting average, and so certainly has the ability with the bat. Of course, you'd love to see the errors defensively limited, but great bat to have at the 9th spot in the order, batting in front of, technically, Ryan Bachman in situations like this, where you could put runners on base, and then essentially a second guy leading off, Cook and then Bachman, back to back. 1-1, bases loaded. Sasquatch trying to score first. Cook grounds one foul. Along the third base line, a high chopper. Couldn't keep it fair. Now the count is 1-2, and this would be a great spot for Reese Kirk. Try to pick up his first strikeout. None thus far. Only the one hit allowed. It was Micah Wallet's single. Sasquatch have loaded the bases with a pair of hit by pitches and that single. Trying to score first, and in games they've scored first, they've been tough to beat. 14-3 in games where they score first. Here comes the 1-2. This one sails just outside. Good eye there from Cook. Evens the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one nearly clips him. He takes it inside, so a full count with 1 away. Corner's still in for the Plainsmen. You've got Salazar over at first and Whitaker at third, a little bit in. Middle infield hoping for a double play ball. Full count, 1 out. The pitch stays alive, fouls it off. You'll see another one with a full count. Good crowd here on hand for Star Wars Nights. You may notice the change in our graphics a little bit. The Imperial logo and the Rebellion logo on our lower thirds. Full count, and it's high. A ball will walk Danny Cook. A good at-bat. He walks to bring home a run, give him an RBI, and Jordan Bowman comes in to score. The Sasquatch do, in fact, score first. And they'll keep the bases loaded with Ryan Bachman now coming up.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 24, Ryan Bachman.
Bachman reached on an error in the first inning and then was picked off on an 0-2 pitch. Got a little bit too far off of first base and was picked off by Reese Kirk. Bachman lines one, and this gets past the diving shortstop C.J. Fish into left field. Froelich has trouble with it, but head coach Justice Scott's going to hold Chance Green, at third. Everybody moves up 90 feet. Micah Wallette comes in to score, and the Sasquatch lead it 2-0. No need to risk bringing another runner to the plate and risking making the second out of the inning at home. So Sasquatch with 2 runs in. That's 5 runners straight that have reached after a leadoff pop out by Ben Tate. The next 5 all reaching base to give the Sasquatch a 2-0 lead. And another opportunity for Braden Gostisha to go out on top. Last game of the season, you see the numbers on the season. Entering today, 179 batting average, a fly out to left field, center field, his first time up. Does have a home run and 10 RBIs, looking to pick up a couple more right now. Hits it in the air to right field, high, not very deep, as Massis will settle under it. This should get a run home. The throw comes in towards the plate. It's cut off by the first baseman Salazar, and it'll be a sac fly. Chance Green scores. Danny Cook advances to third, and Sasquatch tack on another. It is now 3-0.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 16, Patty Rakes.
So the bases will no longer be loaded. Instead, it'll be first and third with now 2 away. Patrick Rakes comes up. Didn't see a strike his first time up. Walked on 4 pitches. 8th guy to come to the box for the Sasquatch. 3 runs in on 2 hits. This one sails inside, so ball inside to Rakes. 357 batting average on the season. Like we talked about the first time he came up, just been so consistent at the plate. Really never had a stretch where he struggled, just has been batting close to 350 all year long. Check in on Bachman. This is now Rakes' 22nd game played. So he's 30 for 84, so a decent sample size for Patrick Rakes. And look at the Sasquatch as a team, a 312 batting average on the year. We showed you in our off-the-wall stats in the open how good they've been over the last 10 games, batting over 340 and averaging over 10 runs per game in some of that stretch. Over the last 10 games, the Sasquatch offense has been tough to set down. A 312 batting average is best in the ILB. Rakes still yet to see a strike here today. 2 balls and no strikes. Does get one there, and he lets the hands go, but comes up empty, so now the count 2-1. Bachman off of first. Only 1 stolen base on the year for Bachman. 2-1 pitch is high. 3 balls and a strike. Javier Marcial hoping for a chance in the second. He's on deck and would represent the 9th guy to come to the box. The Sasquatch could bat around here in the second inning. And it looks like they will, as ball 4 to Patrick Rakes. He's walked for a second time. Bachman heads over to second. It'll be Danny Cook at third, Ryan Bachman at second, and Patrick Rakes at first, with Javier Marcial coming up.
Number 23, Javi Marcial.
Fly out to left field the first time for Marcial. Hoping to continue. It's been a great month of June, and hopefully for him it continues into July. Struggled in May, 0 for 19. June, it's been about as good as you can be, batting close to 400, and we'll see what we get in July, but numbers on the season now 263 entering today, so overall very respectable summer, and just after that slow start he got his feet underneath him and has been one of the Sasquatch's best hitters in what's been a great month for the team as a whole. A month where they've only lost a couple of games, thanks to the offense and some good pitching when they've needed it. Bases loaded with 2 away, and Marcial looks at ball 1. In the month of June, Sasquatch are 14-6. It's improved them all the way to fighting for a playoff spot now, 17-11 on the year. The Moo are 18-12, and the Sasquatch win today, and the Moo lose. Sasquatch would have sole possession of second place overall, which would put them in good position to maybe get that second spot in the ILB Championship Series. Kirk struggling to find the zone. He walked Patrick Rakes, a couple hit by pitches in the inning, and he's behind Marcial 2-0. Make it 3-0. That pitch nowhere close. Coming home from third is Cook. There'll be no play. Wild pitch brings home another. Make it 4-0. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the count is 3-0. The Sasquatch already with a crooked number in the frame. 4 runs in, only needing 1 hit in this half inning to do so. Or check that, 2 hits. Bachman's and Wallet's, both singles. 3-0 taken the whole way. He looks at strike 1. We've talked about several times in this series the Plainsmen don't have the luxury of a large roster to go to the bullpen when guys seem to be struggling. So you see a lot of two-way guys, position players and pitchers, and Kirk likely will go close to the 100-pitch mark like we've seen from a lot of their normal pitchers have. Count is full here on Marcial. Ben Tate, who led off the inning, could get another shot if the inning continues. Time is called. Full count pitch. Drops in there for strike 3. Marcial down on strikes. He thought it hit him. Home plate umpire will have a conversation with Marcial. He says it didn't hit him. Head coach Justice Scott will have a conversation. Sounded like it hit something from up here in the booth. I'm not sure if it picked up on any of our microphones, but Marcial thought it clipped the elbow guard, unless they're going to say Marcial leaned into it. Either way, strikeout ends the inning. Sasquatch will leave 2 runners on, but they do bring home 4, and after 2, they have a 4-0 lead.
Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
It's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Bottom of the order, Marcos Salazar to lead off in the top of the 3rd. First pitch swinging, grounding up the middle. Danny Cook can't field it as it goes underneath the glove and into center field. Didn't make contact with the glove, so will likely go down as a base hit for Marcos Salazar. No, they're going to give him an error. E6 there on Cook. Second error of the game, both of them on Danny Cook. Allows the leadoff man to reach, and now the lineup goes back over to the top. Jackson Brooks looks at strike one. Look at what Brooks has done so far this season. Entered today, .303 batting average, which is among the best on the team. Waves and misses there. Him and Chris Ortega leading the way. So Harb bouncing back with a pair of strikes. In the dirt, Green can't block it, and ball will get away. Wild pitch, Salazar advances to second base. So Harb has officially faced the order one time through. We're back to the top with Jackson Brooks, and through that first time, 4 outs via the flyout, and a couple outs via the ground out. Misses upstairs, and again, Green won't be able to make the play. Another wild pitch on back-to-back pitches. Now brings the first run of the game for the Plainsmen all the way over to third. Harb no strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Hasn't helped. The defense, I should say, hasn't helped him much with a couple of errors. Line drive up the middle. This one will get through. A base hit for Jackson Brooks. RBI single. And the Plainsmen get one back here to begin the third inning and cut the deficit to just 3. Salazar scores from third, and so first run of the game in for the Plainsmen. An error, a couple wild pitches, and a single up the middle bring home that first run. And now C.J. Fish, who was the first guy to benefit from the errors at shortstop by Danny Cook. He reached on an error in that top of the first inning. Runner goes, he shows bunt, pulls it back, throw down to second. One hopper can't be fielded by Bachman. Stolen base for Jackson Brooks. So he'll take seconds. We mentioned we're tracking the weather that's headed our way out from Wyoming. Looking at the forecast, again, not an encouraging sign. My phone shows a 100% chance of a thunderstorm at 5. Another shown bunt, and this time Fish will push it foul. It's expected to hit us in about 15 minutes and expected to last for, well, right now, it's getting longer and longer how long it's expected to last. It's not thunderstorms and just light rain. Perhaps a chance they can play through it. Thunderstorms would be worse, as the lightning could delay us for a longer period of time like it did on that ladies' night game, the 26-6 game the Sasquatch won. This is another wild pitch here for Harb, as Chance Green's going to go out and talk with his starter. Command escaping Nathan Harb here in this top of the third inning. It's a hot day here at the ballpark. It feels a little bit cooler up here in the press box, but 92 degrees outside. It's been hot for a majority of the day. It's supposed to cool off, though, only get down to 85 in a couple of hours. That could be when this game is completed if we are in another delay. 2-1 is chopped towards first. Runner will break for the plate, but Bowman will take the sure out at first. So Fish tried to bunt a couple times. Instead, he'll just ground out to first. The RBI will bring home another run. 2 runs in the inning. Now the bases will be empty. 4-2 the score. And Luke Froelich coming up. Froelich hit a ground ball along the right side his first time up. Bowman made a nice backhanded play, and a good flip over to Harb to retire Froelich for first time up for him. We'll take a look at Froelich and what he's done this season. We mentioned he hit the home run, the first home run and the only home run to this point for the Plainsmen. You saw the 280 batting average has been a solid bat so far for the Plainsmen. This one catches the corner. Count goes to 0-2 on Froelich. Fastball grounded to third. Tate on one hop, throw across the diamond. It's a good one, and it right on the money to retire Froelich. Ben Tate makes the play for the second out. Left side of the infield has been a definite weak spot for the Sasquatch defensively. Tate and Cook there at third and short respectively, two guys that have struggled at the dish in terms of fielding, but perhaps those guys can make the adjustment and have a little bit of a better defensive stretch down the bottom half of the year, as fastball is blown by Chris Ortega for strike one. Ortega skies this one along the first base line. It'll go into the Sasquatch bullpen. Ortega flew out to left field in the first inning. We've seen a couple balls hit hard off the bat of these Plainsmen going against Nathan Harb. A couple fly out. Jackson Brooks's and Chris Ortega's both hit pretty well in that first inning, but both resulting in flyouts. 0-2 again late. If we do get a rain delay, this could be the last time we see Harb on the mound, with the rain presumably headed our way. Ground ball to second. Bachman fields it on a couple hops, and the throw to first completes the inning. 2 runs in for the Plainsmen with help from an error and a couple wild pitches in the frame. The Sasquatch will carry a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the third.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time. I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Ben Tate leading off the inning for a second inning in the row, as the Sasquatch brought home 9 batters to the plate in the second inning. Tate led off that frame with a pop-out. Sasquatch then brought home 4 runs on only 2 hits. Take a look at what Tate has done this season. Been a solid year for Ben Tate. We mentioned the defensive struggles a bit at third base, but the bat's been good, 262 on the season. Ground ball, third base side. Whitaker fields it on 2 hops. Throw across is high, and this is going to hit the screen, not into the dugout, so Tate will only get first base. So that's going to be another error, this time on the third baseman, Kyle Whitaker. And E5 allows Tate to reach first here in the bottom half of the third inning. Sasquatch on top, 4-2. Scored 4 in the bottom of the second. The Plainsmen answered back with 2 runs, though, immediately after, scoring twice in the top half of the third inning. Kirk's first pitch to Bowman misses outside. Both of those runs, though, against Harb are unearned. So 3 innings, no earned runs. Only 2 hits allowed by Nathan Harb, and he's only thrown 41 pitches. So the 5-inning projection that head coach Justice Scott said to me that he hopes to see him get to 5. Looks like he'll get there today. Bowman hits one into left field. This ball's got a chance. Back on it goes Froelich. On the track in foul territory, he makes the play. Tate will tag up from first and advance to second. A close play as the bag becomes dislodged. Good heads-up base running by Tate to take second, and a long flying ball for Jordan Bowman is the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 25, Micah Wallace.
Mentioned as well about what's going on around the ILB. The Casper Spuds at a Fremont Moo. The Spuds jumped out to an early lead with 4 runs in the top of the first. The score is the same. That game's now in the bottom of the second inning. Got Volmer versus Anderson. That's the pitching matchup out there in Fremont. A game the Sasquatch will be keeping their eyes on to some degree. That's the only other game going on around the ILB today. Seth Nelson helps out to fix the bag over at second base. Nelson may join us at some point during today's game as well. Nelson actually approached us and said, "I'm not playing today. Any chance I can get on the broadcast?" And of course, we would love to have him on. 1 out, runner on second. Here's Micah Wallace at the box, and he will call time. He walked in his, or pardon me, singled in his first time up. Recorded the first hit of the ball game for the Sasquatch, and then came around to score as well in the inning. This one goes behind Wallace, and it's snared by Worm. After today, the Sasquatch continue at home into the month of July, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They've got the Prospects here at home, off on the 4th of July before they head to Hastings for 3 games, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then they come back home for a decently long 5 home game stretch. 5 games in about 7 days. All of them will be against Bison baseball. Sasquatch hoping that when that series is done, they'll be sitting in a good spot, looking towards the playoffs, looking from the inside, hopefully not the outside. This is booted at short by CJ Fish. This will likely be the 3rd error committed by the Plainsmen and the 5th. Between these two teams combined, it will be. It's the 2nd error of the inning, and Tate over at 3rd. Wallace advances the 1st on the error. And now it's the catcher, Chance Green. Both these pitchers not getting any help from their defenses today. Green chops it foul. Wallace dives in safely at first. We'll continue to update you on the weather. Right now, my latest projection says it's coming in about 6 minutes. So we might not have a whole bunch of time left before a rain delay. If it is headed our way, maybe we'll get lucky and it passes just beside us, not on top of us. Wallace swipes second. The throw comes in. Samuel cuts it off a bit, and stolen base for Micah Wallace puts 2 in scoring position. With how fast the clouds move out here in South Dakota, I feel like we'll actually see the rain coming from the clouds. We'll watch it fall if it is headed our way. Right now, there's none visible in the distance. Looking out beyond our outfield, that's the direction it would come from. 1-1. Green is late on the off speed. 1-2. Both these pitchers have not been getting a lot of outs via the strikeout. It's been all balls put in play. Kirk with 1 to this point, Harb with none. And the 1 strikeout Kirk has was the one looking on Marcial that he contested was a hit by pitch. One, 2 is grounded. Third base side. Whitaker, the dive, he won't get it. Goes into left field, and 1 run will come in to score. Wallace is headed for home. He'll score as well. A 2-run single for Chance Green has given the Sasquatch now a 6-2 lead. So Tate and Wallace both come in to score. The Sasquatch now get those 2 runs back that they gave up in the top half of the inning. Both of those runs unearned to Kirk as both of those runners reached on errors. I think everything past this point would be an unearned run. Both of those plays are balls that should have been outs, and if that was the case, there'd be 3 outs in the inning, and Sasquatch would be left off the board. Of course, that's not the case, though. A couple mistakes in the fields. Error at third and an error at short. 2 runs on 1 hit. Cook into left field makes up for his error. A base hit for Danny Cook, who's on base for a second time today. Back-to-back singles by Green and Cook from the bottom of the order. And now back to the top we go. Ryan Bachman getting a third at-bat in the 3rd inning. Something the Sasquatch leadoff hitters have been doing quite a bit. Batting what seems like almost every inning. That's what happens when you're scoring 65 runs in a 4-game span. Your guys at the top of the order are going to get a lot of hits. When Ryan Bachman was up here yesterday, asked him about whether he prefers the top or the middle part of the order. Spent some time DHing with Nelson leading off, and then, of course, a lot of time as the leadoff guy. He said he doesn't have a preference, but it's always nice to get more at-bats when you're batting leadoff. Popped up mile high on the infield. Samuel, the second baseman, makes the catch. Bachman's retired, second out.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 18, center fielder Braden Gostisha.
Gostisha's 0 for 1 today. Fly out his first time, and then a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. Was able to bring home a run with that sac fly, so productive day. Takes ball 1. Second inning in a row where the Sasquatch have put up a crooked number, and doing so thanks to some errors, or in this case, or in the second inning's case, some hit by pitches. In this inning, a few errors. Gostisha gets into one to right field. This ball is way, way out of sight. Braden Gostisha in his final game with the Sasquatch this summer. A 3-run bomb extends the lead. It's 9-2. It's a good way to finish off your summer if you're Braden Gostisha. As that ball, as soon as it left his bat, he knew it was gone, and that one disappeared over the fence in right field. Way, way gone, and make it 5 runs in the inning for the Sasquatch, a 9-2 lead. As Gostisha, with one swing of the bat, clears the bases against Reese Kirk, and Patrick Rakes will look at ball 1. Rakes a pair of walks today. Hasn't seen a whole lot of pitches to even swing at. Walked on 4 pitches his first time up, 5 his second time up. Count is 2-0 here on Rakes. Back-to-back lefties in the order. Rakes cuts and fouls it into the mitt. Rakes certainly has the power to hit one out as well, and there's no wind going on here either. Flag out in left center field, stagnant. That ball was all Gostisha's power. 3-1. Sasquatch could bat around once again. If they do, it would be Javier Marcial, the 9th man to come to the box. He's waiting on deck, 3-1. Off-speed pitches popped up weakly along the third base side. Whitaker in foul territory will make the catch, and so that does it for the third. The Sasquatch bring home 5 runs, 3 of them off the bat of Braden Gostisha's 3-run shot to right field, and the Sasquatch carry a 9-2 lead through 3 innings.
Sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
First pitch to Jordan Massis is fouled away. That begins the fourth inning here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Sasquatch carrying a 9-2 lead through 3. Braden Gostisha maybe a chance to be player of the game in his final game with the Sasquatch this year. As Harb has worked efficiently through 3 so far. 2 runs, neither of them earned, only 2 hits allowed. No walks, no strikeouts for Harb, and he's thrown just 43 pitches. This is his first start of the year. Jackson Renz, Colin Anderson, like we've talked about, both no longer with the team after a few outings this summer. Easton Brooks is gone as well. It's 3 starters Sasquatch have lost. Russell Peterson and Cade Bleeker, the 2 they still have left, and Jordan Bowman, who can do a little bit of both. Their strikeout number 1 on the day for Nathan Harb as he gets Massis down swinging. Got Jordan Bowman, who can pitch and hit, so he could be a guy that you see as well as a starter down the stretch. And sort of an audition here for Nathan Harb to maybe prove himself as an arm that can be trusted, and right now he's looking pretty good through 3 1/3. Whitaker looks at ball 1 high. Those thunderstorms still TBD. Weather changing seemingly every minute, whether it's going to hit us or not. Past just behind us, maybe. Right now, we're just going to keep playing baseball and hope that we can finish this ball game without any rain delay. 1-1 here on the beer batter, Kyle Whitaker, who flew out in his first time up. Numbers for Whitaker mention he strikes out close to once per game. Won't strike out here. Ground ball. Danny Cook ranging towards the bag. The throw on to first is a good one, and good play by Danny Cook over at shortstop after already a couple errors today. Makes the play there for the second out of the inning. These are the kinds of pitchers I'm sure as a player playing defense you love to play behind. A guy who's just pounding the zone with strikes, and you're going to see a lot of balls put in play. 48 pitches, 33 of them for strikes, and only 1 out recorded with a strikeout. The rest of them all balls put in play. So got to be on your toes defensively when Nathan Harb is on the mound. Harb is looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Might not get it here as this one's popped up right towards our press box. Went over top of our press box, and so count goes to 1-1. Now 1-2 after another foul ball. This is Logan Worm at the dish, the catcher for the Plainsmen, who's had a busy day behind the plate with some wild pitches. He's made a couple impressive stops. Chance Green's had to do so as well. A couple wild pitches out of the hand of Harb today. The only bit of trouble he faced was in that 3rd inning. The leadoff error, not his fault, and then a couple wild pitches sort of made him lose what had been going so well for him. There's another one spiked in the dirt. Full count. Worm has 1 of 2 hits today for the Plainsmen, his single in the 2nd inning. The only other hit was Jackson Brooks' RBI single in the third. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 go the Plainsmen in the fourth. 2 strikeouts in the frame for Nathan Harb, and head to the bottom half of the frame with the Sasquatch still in front.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
The locals' choice for gaming excitement is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
Javier Marcial to lead off here in the fourth inning. Fly out and a strikeout on the day so far for Marcial. 0 for 2 thus far, trying to make it his first hit here in the fourth. Waves and misses on that one. A big swing, looking to hit one maybe 450 feet. That might have been as far as Gosticia's went, as that ball was destroyed to right field. I tried to track it with my eyes. Of course, doesn't help with some overcast clouds in the sky, but I lost track of that ball as it literally went out of sight, well beyond the fence. 0-1. Marcial does get into one to left field, but this will stay up for Brooks out in center. He's ranging over towards the gap to make the catch. Marcial's hit the ball hard twice today, a couple long flyouts, but doesn't get the result there. Retired for the third time, and the first out of this fourth inning. Give Ben Tate chance here in the fourth. Line drive, that's a base hit through the 5-6 hole out in left field. Tate is aboard now for a second time today after he reached on an error and came around to score in the third inning. Now a single in the fourth. Bring up the first baseman, Jordan Bowman. Bowman, we talked about him as a pitcher. Could see sometimes starting down the stretch of the year. Already made a couple starts. He started the first game of the year, actually, back in Casper. This ball gets to the backstop. The wild pitch moves Tate over to second. He started the very first game of the year. And his most impressive time on the mound came out in Fremont. He came in relief in that game, and he shut down the Moo. That was the game that Marcial hit a game-tying home run in the 9th inning. Pinch hit home run to tie the ball game, and then it was him and Jordan Bowman that really helped the Sasquatch capture that win, which in the grand scheme of things, when this year is done, if there's only one game separating those two teams, then that's a game you could point to as a difference. Counts 1-1 on Bowman. Runner goes. The pitch is in the dirt, and Worm can't get it on the transfer. That's a stolen base for Ben Tate. Seeing a lot of action on the base pass today. Wild pitches, errors, some pickoffs. Some stolen bases. Runners now on third with one away. Plainsmen keeping the infield back. Bowman fouls it off. Bowman's been hit by a pitch and flown out today. His fly out in the third inning was deep to left field and drifted just foul and just shy of the wall. Left field and right field 330 down the line, 400 to dead center. The dimensions here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. 2-2, he looks at strike three on the corner. That pitch maybe just caught a piece of the outside corner. We saw Nathan Harb get a couple generous calls out there as well. So that one looked like it might have been off the plate, but still winds up as strike three and out number two in the inning. So it'll be Micah Wallett who tries to bring home that run and avoid keeping that runner stranded to end the frame. Wallett will look at ball one. Gosticha's three-run homer came with 2 outs. So already we've seen some good 2-out hitting today from the Sasquatch. Looking for another 2-out knock here to get the Sasquatch into double figures. Something the Sasquatch have done each of their last 4 games is score 10 runs or more. One's hit well out to left field. Froelich went back first. Now he's coming in and he makes the basket catch. Didn't get the best read off the bat, but he makes the adjustment with good closing speed to retire Wallett. Sasquatch don't score. They leave one stranded at third, and we've played 4 now here at the ballpark, and the Sasquatch still remain in front 9-2.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot on. It has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Chiropractic and sports performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today, and let's get you to your peak.
Samuel sows bunt and pulls it back. Takes ball one to begin things in the 5th. With rain possibly headed our way, this is the last half inning that would matter and make this an official ball game. So you might start to hear some wind on our microphones here. We'll try to make sure that's as low as it can be. The wind is picking up, certainly, here at the ballpark right now, which isn't a great sign for maybe what could be headed our way. We'll see if Harb can work quickly through this inning and make it official in case they do decide to call the ball game. Sasquatch need one more frame from Nathan Harb, top of the 5th. 3 balls and a strike to count to Samuel. Sasquatch don't see the Plainsmen again this year, so this is a game they have to finish. They'll either wait out the rain or they'll call it. Harb's 3-1 is fouled away. Fastball sitting, low 80s for Nathan Harb today. He's gotten a lot of strikes today. Not a whole bunch of swings and misses, but he's been in the zone a lot today. Count full on Samuel. And after 3 straight balls, he gets a ground ball. The third, Tate, with plenty of time to throw to first, is corralled by Bowman. So 2 outs away from making it official. Samuel grounds out, and that brings up Marcus Salazar. I'll check the weather again, and we'll see what the latest thing reports. Right now, it's not showing any rain on the forecast, but looking at the radar, the way it's headed, it looks like it's going to hit us at least at 6 o'clock. Just past 5 o'clock right now here in Spearfish, so my best estimation is we've got maybe 30 minutes before it starts to rain. Clouds out from the west and Wyoming look like they might eventually reach us. But I'm no meteorologist. My guess is about as good as yours. Count is 0-2 to Salazar. Here's the pitch from Harb. And a swing and a miss. Nathan Harb with 3 strikeouts on the day, all of them coming over his last 2 frames. 2 outs now in the inning and back to the top of the order. And you look at Nathan Harb, that's now 8 straight retired. Going back to the ground out of CJ Fish in the 3rd inning. The last guy to reach base against Harb was Jackson Brooks with his single in the 3rd. So Harb trying to set down 9 in a row in his first start of the summer. He has been very impressive. Very efficient. That's now just his 65th pitch of the game. 43 of those pitches strikes. 2 hits allowed, 2 runs, neither of them earned. No walks and 3 strikeouts, and this pop-up to shallow left. Danny Cook ranging out. The wind moving it all around, but Cook makes the catch. That's 9 straight set down by Harb. Another 1-2-3 frame. Or through the top of the 5th, the Sasquatch still lead it by 7. The score 9-2.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
It's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
First pitch foul off the bat of Chance Green. We'll have Seth Nelson and Ben Green join us up here in the press box momentarily. 8-9-1 in the order. Chance Green, Danny Cook, and Ryan Bachman up for the Sasquatch here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This ball is grounded. 5-6 hole, fielded on the backhand by Fish. The throw across the diamonds, dug out there at first by Marcus Salazar. Nice play there. Gets the first out of the inning on a ground ball from Chance Green. Brings up now the 9-hole hitter, Danny Cook. He looks at ball 1. Kirk's still out there for the Plainsmen as this ball is grounded to third. Whitaker will field and throw across the diamond. There's the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 down. Maybe a good thing we don't have Nelson and Ben Green on right now, as this inning is moving by quickly here in the bottom of the 5th. Back to the top of the order we go. Ryan Bachman is coming up. Bachman at the top of the order. 1 for 3 day today. Reached on an error, RBI single, and a pop out today. And he looks at strike 1 on the inside part of the plate. Swing and a miss there. 0-2 as it stands right now. We'll just have Ben Green and Seth Nelson join us presumably for the top of the 6th inning. Unless Bachman reaches, then I'll introduce you to them up here in the box. 2 up and 2 down for Kirk here in the 5th. 0-2. Ground ball to short. Couple hops, fish. Throw to first, that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down. Kirk goes in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th coming up. We'll have Green and Nelson when we return.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever, getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Top of the 6th inning. Cole Krieber on the mound replacing Nathan Harb. What a day it was on the mound for Harb. He goes 5 innings in his first start with the Sasquatch. Doesn't allow a run. 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Or pardon me, he does allow 2 runs. Neither of those runs are earned, though, after a couple errors defensively. And so they'll go to the bullpen. Cole Krieber into the ball game. And Krieber will work through this 6th inning. Up here in the booth, we've got Seth Nelson and Ben Green both joining us. We'll have to have you both share a microphone here for this frame. Seth, I mean, first thing first, I just noticed the glasses. We've got Ben is wearing 2 pairs of glasses, the glasses on the hat and on the face. Seth, your glasses. Can you walk us through the glasses setup we've got here?
I don't know. I was just scrolling through Amazon after my my glasses unfortunately broke from just getting too fired up in the dugout. I figured, I gotta get a pair that will excite the boys a little bit and get everybody going. And first I wore them to the field. I got multiple compliments on how electric they were.
All right.
So I knew they were a banger. And everything I do is for the boys. So, yeah.
That's great. And then, Ben, why are you wearing 2 glasses? What's that for?
Honestly, I just got some lucky glasses going on. $10. They got some luck in them, though. That's all I need.
Lucky glasses. Okay, so we've got the superstitious. Obviously, baseball players in general, very superstitious. Are you both at the high part of that superstitious? Is that both of you?
I mean, not that high. I just got my glasses. That's about it. I'll keep it at the glasses.
Just the lucky glasses?
That's as far as I'll go, yeah.
Not of the same socks or anything like that? What about you, Seth?
I'm pretty superstitious. There's a lot of things that, like my stretch routine, same every day. the way I take the box, the same since probably 12U travel ball. Yeah, there's a lot of little things. Left cleat on first before the right one.
Okay.
Just little things like that where if I don't do it, I can tell it's going to be an off day, and it usually is. So I try to keep it consistent. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Is there anybody on the team that is very superstitious or has an interesting superstition that maybe you were surprised to hear about?
Bachman's got a few routines I see him do sometimes. Like if you see him pre at bat, he always does his prayer before going up to the box. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, not really superstitious though, right?
I feel like if you do have your things, you don't really tell people because it's like the more you, it's like jinxing something. Like the more you talk about it, the less it's likely to happen. So, but yeah, other than Bachman's praying, I don't think I've noticed anybody else's.
Yeah, I have like routines. I have routines, but I try and stay away from the superstitions. We got a nice little strikeout right here by Krieber, the boy.
We do indeed. Krieber on the mound. Well, before we talk about Krieber, let's talk a little bit about Nathan Harb. He goes 5 innings pitched today in his first start of the summer. Came a little bit late to the team, as did you, Seth, coming back from last year. But what have you seen from Nathan Harb? Let's talk about his pitching first, and then also just a little bit about him as a person.
Yeah. Oh, as a person, yeah, he's a great guy. But as a pitcher, I mean, this is my first time really paying attention to him pitching because I think he's had one start or one appearance before this. But, I mean, he was just doing a great job today. He's getting ahead. Off speed looked really good, and then just trusting the defense. Even though we had a couple of errors, he's still trusting him, letting him put him in play, so it's good. As a person, yeah, he's just a great guy. And then he's just calm. He's just like nonchalant. Just a happy guy. He's just happy to be here.
Ground ball, third base. It goes off the glove of Tate. That's going to allow Froelich to advance to first. We'll see if they give him a hit or an error over there at third. It's not been the prettiest defensive game by either side. 3 errors already to this point by the Plainsmen. 2 errors for the Sasquatch. That's going to go down as a hit for Froelich on a high chopper. I imagine it's fun playing defense. Seth, obviously you're DHing every day, but Ben, I assume it's fun out in center field when you got a pitcher on the mound like Nathan Harb. I mentioned it while he was pitching. Didn't have a whole lot of strikeouts, just throwing a lot of strikes. Ball's getting put in play. Throw down to second base on a steal is a good one. How about that?
What a throw. Yeah.
Chance Green.
Gosh. What a tag. That's a vet right there.
Chance Green catches Luke Froelich stealing, trying to swipe second base. Good throw by Green, good tag by Bachman. I assume it's fun though for you out in center field when a guy's throwing a lot of strikes. Is there ever a point?
Exactly.
Is there ever a point when you're in center field and you get bored if the guy's just mowing through him like Russell Peterson was doing yesterday?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't get bored because if they're throwing a lot of strikes, I like trying to be the umpire out there and call strikes myself. But I mean, you just gotta try and stay as active as possible in the outfield. It's just, I mean, it gets boring out there. Maybe sing to yourself or something. But no, it's fun out there. I love it.
This pitch is outside, so the count is a ball and 2 strikes on Chris Ortega.
We got 2 outs already, too.
Already 2 outs in the frame. You guys could join us again in the bottom of the 6th inning. If this inning doesn't end, we'll talk a little bit about Cole Krieber here. Line drive. This is into the glove of Danny Cook.
Danny getting up.
Perfectly timed leap there from Danny Cook. Gets the 3rd out of the inning, so Cole Krieber ends up facing the minimum in the top of the 6th inning, thanks to a caught stealing and a good defensive effort by Danny Cook. We'll have both of you guys join us for the bottom half of the 6th inning. Sasquatch still in a commanding lead, 9-2 when we return.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes. At our clinic locations throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us. Working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger. Getting better. Getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Getting set here for the top of the 6th inning. Seth Nelson and Ben Green still talking Star Wars as we did during the half inning. Ben Green just said he had not watched any Star Wars movies, so Seth was giving a little bit of an explanation. We were sharing our favorite movies about maybe Rogue One, and Seth, you said your favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith. I guess that makes sense. You know, Steven, our video production intern, and myself both like the old school Episode 4 as the classic, but I assume obviously us growing up, you know, Episode 3 arguably the better movie, and you grew up with that. Why is that your favorite Star Wars movie?
I love Revenge of the Sith, one, because according to my mom, growing up, I would call it Revenge of the Seth. So
that's good.
That's part one. The other one is it's the huge battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan of when Anakin becomes Darth Vader. And that is such a pivotal moment in the Star Wars universe of the origin story of Darth Vader. And I think their fight on the lava is just, there's no better fight across cinematic history, in my opinion, than the master and the student dueling off and the master having the high ground and ended up winning it. And, you know, although evil did strike with Darth, which I am a fan of the dark side, but had to happen, you know. It's the coming to enlightenment moment between master and student, and I think it's just a great part of movie history.
Well, you say you're a fan of the dark side. Okay, so a common question I think among Star Wars is sometimes you learn a lot about people when you ask them if you had the ability to join either the dark side or become a Jedi. I mean, Green, you can maybe answer it with your limited knowledge as Ghostisha goes down on strikes. If you had the Force ability to your extent, to your knowledge of what that entails, the ability to wield a lightsaber, would you be seduced in any way by the dark side, do you think?
Oh, I mean, probably. We play Moff. I love being Moff, so that gets me going. I'll probably be on the dark side sooner or later.
That's good. You're at least able to admit it.
Yeah.
Not that it's necessarily.
We got Darth Maul.
Terribly bad.
You got Kylo Ren. Have some feel, brother. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, Sith
Darth
Lord
Maul,
forever. Yeah.
Mafia, yeah.
Darth Maul. It's one of the sickest movie characters of all time. You know, Kylo Ren, Senator Palpatine. It's just such a grouped up people that just make up the dark side that you can't. Just no way. Luke Skywalker, lame.
And Patrick Griggs has not had much of a chance to hit 2 walks, a pop out, now a hit by pitch. Really hasn't swung the bat much today.
Who was Obi-Wan's leader, master? Qui-Gon?
Yeah, Qui-Gon.
Lame. Qui-Gon, lame.
You wouldn't want to learn from Yoda?
Dude, imagine your master is Senator Palpatine. Dude, the dude has electricity for a power. That's cooler than any lightsaber. Come on.
You want to learn the electricity
And they had
power.
Dooku, but Dooku died. We know that. But
we're spoiling all of Star Wars for any viewers.
if you haven't seen Star Wars by now, that's on you. Spoiler alert, everybody. Sorry.
Spoiler alert. Dooku might not live.
I was going to get to watching it sooner or later.
I mean, at this point, I'd imagine the
Like,
phrases.
didn't Luke like throw his lightsaber in the middle of nowhere and then like fell off the face of the earth? What kind of Jedi is that? Anakin wouldn't have done that. Anakin lost both of his legs, both of his arms. He was a human chicken nugget.
He was.
And became the craziest man to ever rule the Empire. Talk about drive.
That's the drive and passion of
Luke
the dark
had
side.
the world in his hands, threw it away.
Luke is a Jedi?
Yeah. Luke's Anakin's son.
We'll get the exposition here.
Spoiler.
A couple of wild pitches, advancing rakes to third.
So you know the part where they're like, Luke, no, I am your father. So under the suit, that's Anakin. So that's his dad, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that.
He was a traitor?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Anakin was trained by Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was a good guy. But then Anakin was like, I got all this power. I don't need you guys no more. So then Senator Palpatine comes in and says, you're working for me now. Makes him kill Count Dooku, takes his spot, becomes the next one in line.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ben Green learning the Star Wars lore.
I'm doing my civil duties as an American.
I mean, I wonder who gave those guys names.
I don't know who gave them names. Well, I know Palpatine, he gave Anakin the name Vader.
He gave him Vader.
I think it was George Lucas who gave them the names.
I'm a big R2-D2 guy myself.
R2?
If anybody's got a shirt out there for me, I'll gladly take it.
It's a good crowd here at the ballpark. It's nice to have a lot of people here on hand. 4:05 first pitch. Here we go.
For any Star Wars fans at home, if you know this part of the movies, the reason that R2-D2 is always sad after Anakin becomes Darth is because, or when he's with Luke, is because the last time R2-D2 sees Anakin Skywalker, he says, "Guard the ship, I'll be back," right? Anakin never comes back. So R2-D2 doesn't know that Darth Vader is Anakin. So for him, Anakin left and never came back to get him. So then in the next movies, when when R2-D2 becomes Luke Skywalker's droid, he doesn't know that that's his son. He doesn't know. It's really sad when you think about it.
That's messed up.
But for some hidden lore, for anybody who knows that at home.
Hidden lore, making up for the fact that the sequels came out before the prequels to bridge that gap, I guess.
Yeah.
1-0. This is in the air to right field. It's slicing towards the line. It'll go foul. It's off the bat of Ben Tate. Gostisha led off the inning with a strikeout. Rakes hit by pitch. Couple wild pitches over at third. Marcial strikes out. So runner at third. Sasquatch trying to get back into double figures. I mean, you guys as a team offensively, looked at the numbers, mentioned them already on the broadcast. I think 65 runs as a team over the last 4 games, just up and down the lineup.
Geez.
Everybody getting involved hitting. How much fun is that when you guys are just going down the lineup and everybody's getting hits?
I mean, it's sick. Like, everybody's having fun. When you're having fun, this game is the easiest to play when you're just having fun instead of being frustrated. Even if you're having a bad day, I didn't have the best day yesterday, but I mean, I'm still having fun. Everybody else has a smile on their face, so it's good to see.
Tate goes down on strikes, ends up 3 strikeouts in the inning there for Thomas Nelson. And so we'll head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We'll have you guys join us if you want. We'll keep you guys on for another half inning. Why not? Innings moving by a little bit quicker. Headed to the bottom of the 6th. Score still 9-2.
Surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Fly ball into center. Gostisha ranging over, and he will not make the catch. Didn't get a good read off the bat. The throw comes into second, and it's not in time.
He dropped it?
I think he just dropped the ball out in left center field. Never really saw it off the bat and couldn't come up with the catch. It'll end up being, I believe, a double for Jordan Massis, or will it be an error?
I don't know.
Looks like it'll be an error, actually, on Braden Gostisha. 3 errors on the day for the Sasquatch defensively. 3 as well for the Plainsmen. Hasn't been the prettiest defensive display. You got Cole Kreber on the mound.
I'm on your side.
We had Cole Kreber on in the top of the 6th inning, and you mentioned a little bit about Cole Kreber, and we talked already about Nathan Haar. But what's Cole Kreber like for those of the people at home that won't ever get to see him in person? What is he like as a person?
So I've talked to Kreber one time, and he told me that he's going to medical school, and he's shadowed like a surgeon and stuff. And I thought that was very fitting for him, because he's a very cool, calm, collected guy. Hence why I've only spoken to him once, because well, first of all, he's a pitcher, so they're kind of all in their own little world. But as a good position player, you owe me $5. As a good position player, you respect their little bubbles because they're pitchers and they deserve their time and space. So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But talking to him, it just made so much sense. Like, because he wants to be a doctor, and I think he's cut out for it, 100% cut out for it. And even on the mound, very cool, calm, and collected, very mature. Yeah.
After a hit by pitch, first and second with nobody out, they're going to give Massis a double as opposed to the air out in center field. As this has popped up high. Did you see the play? I mean,
I'm not sure this guy's played baseball before this summer. His lead at first base does not make sense.
Talking about Kyle Whitaker over at first base. Jordan Bowman not really holding him on.
Yeah, I feel
so
bad.
First and second with nobody out. Catcher Logan Worm at the dish.
Yeah, good pitch.
Looks at strike two. Krieber finding the zone here with now 2 strikes. Hopefully the weather has passed us by. It's now nothing but sun here at the ballpark. Was expecting possible thunderstorms, but looks like we'll get away with no rain today. This is in the dirt, ball and 2 strikes. So for you guys now entering the second half of the season, you got the Plainsmen here who you've been able to take care of for the most part up until this point, probably going to be able to hold on and sweep this set. And then moving forward, I mean, obviously every game means so much down the stretch. Is there anything different in the second half of the season in terms of going full out, trying to win these ball games? Any different mood in the dugout as you approach the second half and now into the second half?
I think for the most part, just stick to what we've been doing. You know, we've been trying out a few different lineups and seeing who's hot and, you know, who needs to get hot. But for the most part, I think it's just keep doing what we're doing. We, as a team, we've been really good offensively and for the most part really good defensively. But more than anything, I think Coach Scott does a great job of keeping his composure during games and in big moments because, you know, playing for a lot of coaches through my career and a lot of guys, you know, they don't have that composure, you know, and a lot of them are either younger coaches or that's just how they are. But even when we're in big spots or we're down by, like the other night when we came back and we were down 4 in the ninth and Scott's walking in the dugout with a smile on his face saying, let's go win a ball game. You know, it's like those are the kind of guys you love to play for.
Really nice play over there at first base. Logan Wern goes down in some pain at first base. The last thing you want to see is his left foot might have caught the bag awkwardly at first base. Tate with a great play, but Logan Worm is down in some pain, and so we'll take a quick break as Logan Worm is tended to along the first base side. Logan Worm able to get up and walk under his own power. Good sign and nice defensive play over there at third base by Tate. Massis comes home to score. Kyle Whitaker advances over to third as well on the ground ball. One thing that was fun to talk with Ryan Bachman about, talked to him a couple times when he's joined us, a little bit about just anything for young guys out there, young baseball players trying to get better at the game. I'd love to hear both of you guys and your approaches to getting better, what you guys like to work on in BP, in fielding drills, in any sort of context, just how you guys have improved over the course of maybe high school into college and into summer ball. Some of the things that you like to do to get better. As this one's grounded to short, this will bring home another run on the RBI ground out.
Honestly, since I was in high school, I was never like the best at baseball. I don't think I still am, but honestly, I think the best way to improve is just by asking other questions, like to other players you're playing with. Like if somebody has a nice swing or a good at bat, like ask what their mentality is. Like Danny's a young guy. He asked me a lot of questions, and I mean, I love responding. He's trying to learn. I'm not gonna not respond to somebody that's not trying to learn. So I mean, that's the best way to learn. And then honestly, just putting in the work. Ask questions, like look at other people's drills and ask what they're doing. And I mean, yeah, you just learn small portions at a time, and it just adds up.
Is there anything that you've learned from somebody that sort of stood out to you, a piece of advice that you've carried with you to this point that you used to rely on a lot?
I can say right now, I've learned from Seth just to not think and hit the ball hard. He's like first day here, he's like 3-0 counts the best. That's the best pitch to swing at, and now I'm tempted to swing at it. I've never swung at a 3-0 pitch in my life, so but now I'm tempted. And honestly, like the double play situation, he told me to just swing hard. Like don't change it because somebody's on base. So I mean I did that. I mean I'm just more comfortable now. I feel like that clear thought in my head, just trying to hit it hard.
Have you, Seth, taken any sort of different approach because you're a guy that's returning to the Sasquatch, a guy that knows this team a little bit better, or at least knows the area better than some of these other guys? Have you taken a little bit of a more leadership or just a welcoming kind of role, or is that just you being you?
Yeah, I think being out here last year, definitely I've gotten a lot more comfortable with the team, especially with Bachman. I just, anytime I be on, like any team I'm on, being an older guy, you're kind of assumed as a leader because you're an older dude. So I think it's always been in my nature to just like set the tone and, show the guys the kind of culture I came in last year and Bachman showed us the kind of culture they have out here, and it was on me if I was ready to buy into it or fight back. And for me it's a buy in. I'm never going to be the guy to go against the team or be the odd one out of not going with the flow, and I think everybody here so far has bought into it. Just good baseball. Like we get a little chirpy sometimes against other teams, and like for this team, like they're not the best, but they're having fun, and that's what matters. So for us, it's like when I hear some chirps get out of hand, it's like, hey, these aren't the guys to do it against. Wait for the big games when it means something. So I think getting a change of that and just setting the culture for the younger guys is my main priority.
Brooks flies out to left field. I haven't been able to ask you about the 26-run game and all the position players and all that, so you want to stick on for another half inning? We talk about that game?
Yeah,
all right, let's do it. Fly out for Jackson Brooks. Score 9-4. Sasquatch in front.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Dean Rizzo is in the ball game for the Sasquatch. As the Sasquatch, or pardon me, Dean Rizzo in the ball game for the Plainsmen, taking over for Thomas Nelson, who goes just one inning with 3 strikeouts, doesn't allow a run. And Jordan Bowman will lead off here. It's Bowman, Wallet, and Green going up against Rizzo here in the home half of the 7th inning. Sasquatch on top 9-4. And at the end of the top of the 7th inning, I mentioned we didn't get a chance to talk about the 26-run game. You guys exploded for 26 against the Plainsmen. That game had everything. Rain delay, Kyle Finn grand slam coming back. You got some dancing for ladies' night. I mean, just the whole part of the game. Was there anything that was your favorite part of a 26-run game like that?
My favorite part of that game, by far, hands down, a story I will never stop telling for generations. It's Kyle Finn, first pitch, back from the rain delay, grand slam. I was the runner on first, and I could not. The photographer got a picture of it. I could not stop smiling from the time I saw a ball off bat till I got back in the dugout. That is one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. Like last year during the playoffs for school, we were playing in the Midwest, and we were playing Idaho, and we had a rain delay. Nobody hit a first pitch grand slam coming back from that rain delay. And it was over like an hour delay too. And I was telling everybody, I was like, I am so happy. I just have to go back and run the bases because I cannot imagine having to have a first at bat. Had a babe, Mike. What a babe. The weakest bat flip I've ever seen. Pitiful, Micah. But, yeah, that Kyle Finn grand slam, I told him already, there will be people back home that know who Kyle Finn is because that is a story I will never stop telling. Like, have you ever seen something like that? Never.
Yeah, I mean,
never.
That was a special moment. I mean, I think I said on the broadcast, I said, do you believe it? Because I didn't really believe it, right? I mean, you come after it's an hour delay.
Yeah.
And then trying to come back and, you're going to ease into it, and then, boom, just first pitch. And the thing about Finn, and we talked with Ryan Bachman about it yesterday, the way he swings the bat, it just seems like he's swinging 50%. Bachman said the same thing. It just looks so effortless. He's 6'7". The ball just flies off his bat. He just looks so effortless when he's in the box, and the ball just ends up going over 400 feet. Back pick at first. Wallette is back in time.
But yeah, Kyle, he's a walking forest tree, and just mashes the baseball. Just mashes the baseball, and like it's just so he just like he had a line drive to left yesterday. If you watch the video, it is a step and a flick of the hands, and that is something I'm so jealous of. Because I'm not 6'7", and I have to swing hard for the ball to go far. He just has to swing the bat, and that's an innate, God-given talent, and I applaud him for it. Is there anything else from the 26-run game you want?
Yeah, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen, to be honest. I live with Kyle, and he was just like, I was dreaming of that moment. And then, like, before the pitch, the whole dugout's like, placata, like, home run. And then, like, he actually had a home run, so it was kind of crazy.
Oh, and shout out Torpy, base hit that game, pitcher. Yep. Shout out Harp.
2 hits.
Home run and a double.
That's actually the craziest thing.
Cole Krieber had a hit, too, as well.
Krieber had a hit, yeah. Shout out pitcher.
I don't know. Harbs isn't that crazy because I know he's a dog, bro.
He's a two-way kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a two-way. I could tell with his first take he could swing the bat, and then the next pitch he hit a bomb. So
I remember I asked Bachman yesterday about how many guys in the dugout were trying to get into that ball game, and eventually I guess it was Javier Marcial who got the nod in that ninth inning.
So much stuff happened that game for once.
Yeah, it was a wild game over 5 hours. It's quite the ball game. Was that the most runs you've been a part of as a player? 26 runs.
Yeah. I will say I've had like a 30 bomb put up against me, but
okay.
Yeah,
on the winning side of things, at least 26 runs is.
So it's good to be on the other side. And I mean, the first inning we scored 11 runs.
Right.
Right after that, we had 15 within the next pitch.
We came back from the rain delay, still in the first inning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first inning was
over
an hour.
That was in the first inning.
That was in the first inning. 11 runs, all in the first.
So yeah, we scored 11. That's crazy.
Danny
And
Cook
I think
walks.
we had no outs too with his grand slam. I'm pretty sure it was no outs.
Yeah.
Bases loaded.
RBI walk for Danny Cook. That brings home another run. Sasquatch back in double figures, and here we go back to the top of the order. Ryan Bachman, first 4 guys all reaching base here against Dean Rizzo here in the 7th. First pitch is outside to Ryan Bachman. The other thing I talked with Ryan Bachman about yesterday is it seemed like as you guys see these Plainsmen pitching the second or third time these guys are on the mound, or the second or third time these guys get through the order, you guys make the adjustment. I remember Rizzo's first outing. I think he went 2 innings, didn't give up a run, and then you guys put up 6 or 7 on him in that 3rd inning. How much of that is real? I know in the MLB, it's always a huge thing, right? 3rd time through the order, the batting average jumps. You guys both hitters. How much of that is real when you see a guy? How much information are you gathering, seeing him the more times he pitches.
Yeah, way to wear it, by the way, Bach. But
RBI hit by pitch
it's
for Bachman.
it's a real thing. It's just like throwing BP. Like you get used to the guy throwing BP. Honestly, I think this pitcher right here, he has my number though. He's got a knuckleball. It just tears me up for some reason. Yeah. I'm like, what? And then you just get used to the pitcher. But honestly, the pitchers get tired too. Like their stuff isn't getting better the more you see them. They get tired. Their stuff moves less, and then hangs it over the plate, and you got you a nice little cookie to hit.
So the hit by pitch to Bachman. Bases are loaded for Braden Gostisha. This is the 7th inning, though, not the 8th, so you don't have that grand slam opportunity. Remember yesterday with that grand slam chance, Gostisha was up in the 8th inning. He's already got a homer today, so certainly has the ability to. The energy was there, hoping for a grand slam in that 8th inning. We asked Eric Schmidt. It's never happened before, so hopefully sometime this year we can get that. Maybe Gostisha's got another shot. Maybe later today. Already a 3-run homer today. This is his last game of the season. So what can you tell us about Gostisha, the kind of guy that he is, what you've learned? Green, obviously you talk about, asking guys questions. Anything you've learned from Gostisha or just being around him, Seth? Anything you can tell us about Braden?
Ghost, big hustler. Never really see him walking around. Never really see him jogging stuff out. He's always, I know he had that playing center, but he couldn't see it off the bat, so kind of not his fault. But even fly out, ground out, he's always hustling. That's a big thing. And I don't know, Ghost is always has a smile on his face. You notice that? Those are by far the best dudes to be at the ballpark with. Because when you have and I think that's why we get the team gets so long, because everybody's just so happy to be here. And sometimes when you got guys on the team that just don't want to be there, want to go do something else, play somewhere else, that's fine. But when we have such a squad like we do here, especially with Ghost, of just so many guys coming together and buying in, it makes for something special. And I think Ghost is a big part of what makes that. And it's actually really heartbreaking that he's leaving today, because Ghost is a big part of the squad. So,
and just summer ball in general, I remember in some conversations with other guys, it's so different to some extent with college baseball, right? Because you're here to win at some degree, but also at summer ball you're getting better and you're having fun with the guys, and it's a little bit of a different environment to college. And that summer is, how much of that is true? How much is this different than a college year when you guys are all coming from different places and just enjoying the time you have together here for the summer?
Yeah, summer ball is just, it's a little foot off the gas compared to school. You could definitely more relaxed, not completely, but, you get to talk to dudes when you're on base. Like yesterday I was on second, I was chopping it up with the second baseman, shortstop. If I'm on third, if he's not playing so far back, I'll usually talk to him. But it's a fun environment because it's not school, so you're not having your dean at the school watching your every move and making sure you don't yell something wrong or talk to we get to talk to all the fans during the games and talking to all the kids, and they're asking for my bat and my gloves, and
that's gonna fall.
I'm never gonna give them any of my stuff, but I'll sort of tell them I will a few times.
RBI single there from Patrick Rakes, so everybody moves up 90 feet. Wallette comes in to score.
I always hit him with the maybe next time. Yeah, I always hit the kids with the maybe next time or something. But yeah, I broke my bat yesterday. I gotta give that bat away. It is my brother's birthday though, so shout out to my brother Braden.
Shout out Braden.
Shout out Braden.
Thanks. Appreciate that. But no, summer ball is really fun. This is my first year playing summer ball, so I didn't know what to expect. But I mean, Coach Scott, I think he helps us out. He's a really good coach. He helps us have fun with a serious attitude. So he wants to win ball games, and Coach Scott really wants us to get better as well. So if you ask Coach Scott a question, he'll help you out. And he doesn't mind at all. He'll do it with a smile on his face. So it's the best to have a good coach as well out here.
2 outs now in the inning. The bases are still loaded after a pop out from Marcial. So here's Ben Tate at the box. Got Danny Cook over at third, Bachman on second, and Patrick Rakes over at third. 3 runs in for the Sasquatch, looking to pull off the 4-game sweep here against the Plainsmen. Dean Rozo's still out there on the mound. 9th guy to come to the box in the frame. This one's chopped over to third. Whitaker will take it to the bag. And that will do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. You guys brought some runs up here, definitely. The Sasquatch bringing some runs on the board. And so glad you guys could join us for, what was it, an inning and a half? Always a pleasure to have you guys up. Yep. Ben and Seth, thank you so much for joining us. Yep. Hopefully you guys can close this one out as we head to the 8th inning. Sasquatch still in a commanding lead. Thanks so much, guys.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
First pitch ground ball, the second for CJ Fish, and that's how the top of the 8th inning will begin. Going up against new pitcher on the mound for the Sasquatch, it is Jordan Bowman. One of the guys we've talked about could see some more time as a starting pitcher. We'll take a look at what Bowman has done so far this year. There you see the numbers and what he has done. He's been one of the more reliable arms so far this season, making a couple starts, pitching out of the bullpen, doing a little bit of everything for head coach Justice Scott, who's not only his head coach here for summer ball, but also at Cerro Coso. So part of the reason why he got that start, I think, for the first game of the season, a guy that Justice Scott knew well and knew what he could expect out of Bowman. And we've seen what he can expect as a very solid hitter, batting over 300, and a good pitcher as well. He blows a fastball by Luke Froelich. Only 5 outs left to go before the Sasquatch can improve to 4-0 in the second half and complete this 4-game sweep over the Plainsmen. 1-2 fastball sailing outside. Sasquatch a commanding 12-4 lead. Update on the score out in Casper. The Spuds overtop the Moo. That's a 5-0 ball game as Froelich fouls this one away. Spuds pitching again, doing their thing. Ty Volmer, 5 1/3 shutout frames right now against the Fremont Moo. And if the Sasquatch do hold on to win today and the Moo do not win out at home, then be sole possession of second place for the Sasquatch. There's a strikeout for Jordan Bowman. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. As Froelich is retired. Brings up Chris Ortega to the box.
Now batting for the Plainsmen, number 35, Chris Ortega.
Ortega today, he's 0 for 3, a fly out, a ground out, and a line out. Takes upstairs for ball 1. Bowman will likely finish this ball game out. He's got the ability to throw a lot of pitches as a starter, so expect him to get the final 6 outs, now only needing 4 the rest of the way. The Sasquatch with likely their last chance offensively coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, they'll have Bowman, Wallet, and Green, the scheduled 3 hitters. Bowman started today at first base. So a couple defensive changes for the Sasquatch. Matthew Gonzalez took over at third, and Ben Tate moved over from third to first. Bowman out of the game from first. Sasquatch, I believe, would lose the DH. If that's the case, Patrick Riggs' day would be done as well. Foul ball along the right side. Gets Bowman back in the count 3-1. Another good day for the Sasquatch pitching staff. Nathan Harb, 5 innings, 2 runs, none of them earned. Cole Krieber pitched a good 6th inning before getting into some trouble in the 7th. He gave up 2 runs, both of them earned. But another day where the Sasquatch will potentially limit their opponent to under 7 runs, which has been a key factor for the Sasquatch in games where they've done that. They've been tough to beat. Walk is issued to Chris Ortega, 2-out base runner for the Plainsmen. And here's Jordan Massis, a guy we've seen on the mound quite a bit. Saw him in yesterday's game. Also seen him in the fields. Today he pitched, or yesterday I should say, he pitched 2 innings. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning, Micah Coleman appears to be able to join us for that half inning. So that's in there for a strike. Always fun in games like this where you've got the score a little bit of a wider margin, maybe a little bit less serious and more opportunity for these guys to come up here. Had Seth and Ben all ready for an inning and a half up here in the booth. Talking Star Wars, talking baseball, talking everything. Both guys with big personalities. Always a pleasure to talk with both of them. 1-2, line drive, second base, right into the glove of Brian Bachman, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base for the Plainsmen in the top of the 8th. Sasquatch bats coming back up when we come back.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Leads off in the bottom of the 8th, and this ball is fouled away. Is it? Maybe not. This ball's carrying towards the line. That ball is off the wall and foul, or is it gone?
Gone.
It's gone. Out of sight, home run. Jordan Bowman. How about that? First pitch home run to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Before I even get to introduce Micah Coleman up here, Jordan Bowman hits it out. Ball didn't look like it was going to get out off the bat. It looked like it was going to go foul from my vantage point, and then ended up being a home run. So how about that? Jordan Bowman starts off the inning with a bang, and we'll now get to introduce you to Micah Coleman, who's joining us up here in the booth for the bottom half of the 8th inning. Bowman, after a shutdown inning on the mound, gets a home run in the bottom of the frame. Micah Wallett will look at ball 1, and so Micah, I remember I told you just between half innings, we had Seth and Ben up here, so we talked a little bit of Star Wars. I won't ask you too many questions, but it is Star Wars night, so I got to throw one out there, and I'll throw you the same one that I asked them, which is if you had the ability, if you could use the Force and you were given a lightsaber, maybe you started out as a Jedi, would you be seduced to the dark side of the Force?
I would say no.
Okay.
I would stay on the good side. Because I remember the last Star Wars movie I watched. I forget exactly what it was called, but Trooper FN was originally a dark side soldier,
Right.
Finn, and he got transitioned to the, what's the good side called again?
We called them the Rebel Alliance today,
Yeah,
but
the
I think
Rebel
that's only
Alliance.
the first 3 movies.
But yeah, I liked his story a lot, so I couldn't go to the dark side, no.
Hit by pitch there on Micah Wallett. I believe this is the first time we've had you up here for any sort of thing. So excited to talk a little bit about baseball, a little bit of Sasquatch stuff with you. And so we haven't really introduced you to the people that much. So why don't you tell the people, how'd you find about the Sasquatch in the first place? How'd you end up finding Spearfish and coming here for the summer?
Yeah, so it was kind of an interesting situation. During the fall, this last fall, I had I thought I was going to have an opportunity to play for a team in Canada. That didn't quite work out. And then my head coach at Everett, Keith, pretty much literally asked me the morning after weights. He was like, I can make a call to South Dakota. Do you want to play in Spearfish? And I was like, sure. And he called Eric, I think, since we had sent a couple of our guys here in the past, Joe McBride last year and then Dame Gaither a few years ago. It just kind of all worked out. Had a conversation with, I think not just Scott, but the old coach, and I got an offer to play here, and then it's been really cool.
And Spearfish in general, it's just such a beautiful place, a small town and gorgeous landscape. I know the guys, I've seen a decent amount of you guys been able to go out and experience the city a little bit, go to some of the sightseeing places and Devil's Canyon and things of whatnot. But do you have a favorite thing, as Green is locked up there on that pitch, a favorite place that you've been able to go and experience out in Spearfish, or just favorite memories so far from going out?
I've been liking going to Devil's Bathtub.
Okay.
You just said. I had a couple of my friends from back home, shout out Jack and Tyler, who road tripped out here and watched the last couple games. They road tripped 17 hours out here, and we hit Devil's Bathtub yesterday before the game, my boy Danny. That was a lot of fun, and I think that's I haven't explored too much, so that's just been kind of nice, able to get a little cold plunge in, so yeah.
This part of the country, have you been out to this part of the country? You're traveling to Fremont, Hastings, going out to Casper. Have you been out to this part of the country at all?
I haven't. I think I've been to a lot of states on the kind of the West Coast. I guess if you count Arizona, I've spent a little time in Idaho. I guess I'm from Washington, Oregon, California. But the middle of the country, kind of the Midwest, and even Texas, I kind of haven't been out to. I have some family out in Virginia, and but not really this kind of part of the country. So it's been pretty cool. Definitely a different lifestyle out here.
Ryan Bachman looks at ball too. I talked with Seth and Ben yesterday. Gostisha had the opportunity with the bases loaded in the 8th inning yesterday, couldn't come through, and the energy was obviously there right now. Part of me is thinking Ryan Bachman's hoping for a walk here to give him another chance.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see if that comes true, as the count is 2-1. You mentioned you're from Washington as well, and I think it's always fun hearing when you guys talk about your own hometown. So this one is through the infields off the bat of Bachman. That'll keep the inning going. An RBI single for Ryan Bachman. That brings home Micah Wallett. So another run home for the Sasquatch here in the 8th. But going back here from Washington, if people ever happen to travel out to where you're from or around the area in Washington, is there one thing that you would tell a visitor that, like, either a restaurant they have to go to or a place they have to visit? Is there something like that stands out for you?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say you got to hit Pike's Place Market. You got to go to Seattle. Have you ever been out there?
I haven't been out there, but everybody knows Pike's Market.
Pike's Place Market. It's a very big touristy spot. I was just there, I think, like a couple days before I came out here with Jack and Tyler, a couple of my best buddies that came out here. And it's just beautiful. You get out on the water, just a lot of good, there's a lot of good food around there. I would say spend the day in Pike's Place. There you go, Gostisha holding him up. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Got a good bat coming up, too, with Patrick Grakes. Or is this Seth Nelson? It is Seth Nelson. Pretty cool. Well, here we go. Seth Nelson's going to have an opportunity. Bases loaded. The catcher Logan Worm is hyping up
Here
the
we go.
crowd as well.
I think the catcher might just feed him fastballs.
Is Dean Rizzo going to lob one in here, you think?
Yeah. I was on second, actually. It was funny when you were talking about Gustisha in that situation, and I was kind of tipping the pitches to him. I was literally holding up the number 1, and I remember the shortstop kind of laughing. He was like, man, go ahead and do it. It's summer ball, you know. We're just having fun out here, but yeah.
Well, what's the conversation here? Only who could know what they're talking about, I wonder.
Give Bleeker's mom the 10,000. Why not?
A very quick conversation there. Well, the good thing is you've got Seth Nelson and Javier Marcial, 2 power threats, the next 2 in the order. You got Dean Rizzo on the mound, who certainly doesn't throw particularly hard, and an opportunity here for $10,000 on the line. If the Sasquatch, for those of you who might not know, if the Sasquatch hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning, a fan that's chosen during the game, which has been announced, so they know who they are. They're rooting for it right now. They would earn $10,000. Big moment here. Seth Nelson looks at ball 1.
He's got to get his pitch here. Yeah.
Would be funny, too, if he was up in the press box maybe 10 minutes ago talking to us.
He's the one that told me to come up here.
Now he's down on the field. That pitch is upstairs. I mean, we're all locked in on the at-bat. I want to ask you questions, but I don't want to miss what could be a potentially amazing moment here with Nelson at the dish. Count is 2 balls and a strike. He lobs one in there, and Nelson pops it up along the third base line. It's going to go foul. Well, the way that pitch looked, I don't think that was necessarily a fastball that he was trying to blow by him. Looked more like one he was giving him an opportunity to hit. So check that. That's now strike 1. 2-1 the count. We'll see if Nelson gets another chance. Rizzo's pitch is swung on and missed. A little bit faster that time. And it came up empty. Looks like Luis de los Santos has given Javier Marcial a pep talk as well in the on-deck circle. Newly added to the roster. If Marcial gets an opportunity. Here comes the 2-2. And he goes down swinging. Rizzo strikes him out. He got one pitch to hit, maybe over the fence, but he couldn't capitalize on it.
This isn't a bad option here.
So here we go.
Might have the most pure power on the team.
Javi, he's 0 for 5 today. He's due.
He's due.
He's hit a couple home runs already.
He's swinging a new bat.
And I think he hit the home run off of Dean Rizzo as well.
He did.
I think he just motioned fastball, Rizzo did. Here's the pitch.
Oh.
A massive cut from Marcial, but he comes up empty.
Oh, man.
Everybody locked in on this at-bat, hoping that Javier Marcial can bring home $10,000. Some fans standing, hoping it happens. 0-1. That's high. 1-1. Bases are loaded here. Already 2 runs in the inning right now. Bowman and Wallette coming around to score. Got Cook at third, Bachman at second, Gustisha at first. And Marcial fouls it away.
You almost don't want to overswing. You know, you just kind of
It's tough, right? I mean, it's tough.
You know, he's got enough power naturally. If he just connects out front with something, I think he could do it.
I remember I talked to him in the Fremont, and he said, you know, the home run he hit, he wasn't swinging to hit a home run. It ended up hitting a 2-run home run. So right now you can clearly see he's trying to hit one out. 1-2. That's high.
Yeah.
I assume the approach, the approach changes a little bit in this at-bat. Obviously, you know what's on the line. And if this was a 1-run game, maybe you're not thinking this. But with the score what it is, 10 runs. Marcial looks at ball 3.
Who we got on deck here? Tate?
Ben Tate is on deck, another good power threat. So start the merry-go-round here with a full count and 2 outs. Everybody will be off and going. And Javier Marcial hoping for a home run, full count, 2 outs. 14-4 Sasquatch in front. Rizzo's 3-2 pitch is in the air to center field, and this won't get out, as it is Brooks, who is going to range over and make the catch. Sasquatch with 2 opportunities to bring home the $10,000. They can't get the job done, and so last hope coming up for the Plainsmen at the top of the 9th. You want to stick around for another half inning?
For sure.
All righty, so Micah Coleman will join us for the top of the 9th inning. For now, we'll have the Squatch 400, and then the Plainsmen will have their last chance at the dish when we come back.
My runners ready? Crowd ready? All right, ready, set, go!
Last hope for the Plainsmen in the top of the 9th inning. Kyle Whitaker, Logan Worm, and Dean Samuel are going to be the last three to go up against Jordan Bowman on the mound. We just had our intern player, do-it-all man, Ben Hill, just run the Squatch 400 and win it in a Stormtrooper costume. Of course, all Star Wars themed out today, and the Sasquatch hoping to improve to 4-0 in the second half of the season. We've got Micah Coleman up here as well to likely finish out this ball game, as ball one is upstairs to Kyle Whitaker. Bowman, a home run at the plate, and then doing it now as a pitcher. And I asked Ryan Bachman yesterday about the team and if he could pick one guy that was the all-around, like an athlete guy that you would have if you were playing any sport. You didn't know what it was, but you had to draft somebody for a soccer or basketball, football, or whatever it might be, just pure athlete. Is there any guy that you would have at the top of your list for that ranking?
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to look into the dugout now. There's a lot of options. I would say Matty Gonzalez. He's a good athlete. He's a good hacky sack player. It hurts me to say. I'm pretty competitive myself. I would like to throw me in the mix, but no, Matty Gonzalez is really good, a good athlete. He just seems like he just has like really good body coordination and
Got a base hit there from Kyle Whitaker.
Yeah, just seeing kind of Micah Wallette and how he moves too. That's a really good option as well.
I think
he may have actually played multiple sports in high school too.
He was a guy that Ryan, I think, mentioned as well as a possible top candidate for being an athlete.
We have a lot of pretty good athletes on this team. I mean, so yeah.
Well, something Ben Green talked about just a few innings ago when he was up here is I asked him about getting better, and he said he likes to ask a lot of questions and he learns from a lot of guys, and that's something that he gave as advice for young baseball players. For you coming here, I mean, all these guys are around your age, also going through the same thing as you. Have you learned anything specifically, or something that stood out to you from any guy in specific, or just any general lessons from the coaching staff, things that you've learned in this short time so far?
Yeah, for sure. I think I learned best by kind of just watching people, kind of just how they go about their work, and I really like kind of seeing guys. I think Ben Green is a good example of a guy who kind of just shows up to the field, doesn't really have much to say, just kind of gets his work in. You can kind of see him working on different things during BP. Bachman's is a very easy answer as well. He's just a really good mentor, and he'll tell you a lot of things. But I just kind of like watching him and just kind of his routines, and again, just kind of how he goes about his work every day at the field. So yeah, those are two good guys.
Got a fielder's choice there for Logan Worm. Whitaker is retired at second base, so 1 out on the board, 2 more to go. Obviously, when you put up 26 runs, you got to have a lot of fun as a team. And you got pitchers hitting, you got hitters, and Javier Marcial pitching. I mean, that game, you had the rain delay. Javier Marcial throws the 9th, dance in the middle of the 5th inning with players getting involved. I asked Seth and Ben as well, but you have a favorite memory from that 26-6 ladies' night game?
I would say it was the dance. I mean, I was part of that. It was a lot of fun because we had been rehearsing, I think, the previous 3 days, and then that morning. So there was kind of some pressure. And then it was a pretty good turnout, too, with all the dancers and all their families that were in the crowd. And you could tell it meant a lot to them. And, yeah, it was pretty cool that we got to get that in, especially with the delays and whatnot. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, you guys did a great job during that dance. That was definitely one of the highlights, I think, for me watching. That was a lot of fun to see. What was your dancing experience? Did you dance when you were younger, or do you have any dancing experience?
No, really dancing experience. I think I remember when I was really, really young, going to a couple hip hop classes with my sisters.
Okay.
But zero dancing experience. Yeah.
None that carried over into that dance.
No. It was a lot of fun, though. I definitely, if we had an opportunity to do that again, I think all the guys, Bleeker, the other Micah, and Nathan, we all said we'd be the first ones to sign up for that. Because it was, the way we got it was we just got a sign from our coach. And so it was just kind of random selection, so yeah.
Well, good 4 guys to do it. It was a lot of fun to watch. And now the Plainsmen are down to their final out here with 2 outs on the board, 1 runner on, and Marcus Salazar, the last hope, going up against Jordan Bowman, trying to close this one down. First pitch in there for a strike. Jordan Bowman hitting and pitching. Was there ever a point in your career that you spent some time as a pitcher, and when did that pitching career end?
Yeah, Obviously, in Little League, I think everyone kind of pitches and stuff. I pitched a bit for my teams back then. I think when I kind of stopped pitching was prior when I was 15, 16, when I kind of started playing higher. Like, I'd always played select ball, but when you kind of stop needing guys to do both. There we go. Oh, boy.
There we go. That is the ball game there. You got a strikeout to end things as Bowman locks up Salazar to end the ball game. Another victory for you guys. I mean, you guys keep on rolling, beating the Plainsmen now a sweep 4 in a row to start off the second half, and hopefully a lot of winning in the future. I know you guys are pushing towards that playoffs. Likely going to be in sole possession of second place in the ILB after today. So congrats on the win. And hope you guys can continue it on in the future. Thanks so much for joining me up here in the booth.
Thank you.
For the top of the 9th inning. So that'll do it for us here on Spearfish Sasquatch YouTube. Micah Coleman joining us up here for the 9th. Stick around, fans, for the GP Local postgame show, which is coming up in just a bit. We'll have a player join us as well on the postgame show. But for all of us here at the ballpark, thanks so much for watching. The final score today, Sasquatch win it 14-4.
Bro. Be fucking real, man. Come on.
Local post-game show. I'm joined alongside Braden Gostisha. Braden, this is your last game played with the Sasquatch this summer, but you went out with a win and a 3-run home run as well. And that ball you hit, I mean, off the bat, that ball, you knew it was out as soon as you hit it. You take me a little bit through that at bat. What were you seeing from the batter's box, and what did you see when that ball left your bat?
I mean, I was just trying to keep it simple. Like, I wasn't trying to do too much, well, I mean, I got the pitch I want, which was inside. That's my money pitch, and everybody knows from previous ABs that I love the inside pitch, and I mean, I got it and I didn't miss it.
Well, like I mentioned, this is your last game here this summer with the Sasquatch. Is there anything that stood out to you as a favorite memory from your time here this summer?
I mean, just being with my guys. Like, they were great, and the coaches was great, the interns, like, everybody was just great. It was just a great atmosphere, and I mean, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it a lot.
You guys as a team, you talk about how great the atmosphere has been. Obviously, you won't be here the rest of the way to hopefully see these guys advance to the playoffs, but as a team, you guys offensively have just been on fire lately, up and down the order. Everybody's been getting involved. You today with that 3-run shot. Just what's that like in the dugout when everybody's hitting and everybody's having a good time?
I mean, we don't have any doubts for anybody. Like you said, everybody's hitting, everybody's starting to heat up, and it's like we know that this person is going to get a base hit. Like, I mean, there's no doubt about it with us. Like, we're like, all right, yeah, this guy's going to get on, next person's going to drive him in, next person's going to drive him in. So, like, there's just no doubt about it.
Well, Braden, it was such a pleasure to have you here with the Sasquatch this summer. I wish you the best of luck in the future, and hopefully Sasquatch can continue their success even without you the rest of the way.
Of course,
all right, thanks for joining us on the Postgame show, and that'll do it for us here at the ballpark on Star Wars night. The Sasquatch win this one 14-4, the final. Braden Gostisha is not the player of the game. Jordan Bowman was awarded player of the game. You can see the Instagram post for Bowman, and make sure you're following all of our social media as well, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that, to stay up to date with the Sasquatch moving forward. The Sasquatch complete the 4-game sweep over the Plainsmen to begin the second half of the year, and now they'll welcome the Nebraska Prospects for 3 more as we enter the month of July. So fans, thanks so much for joining us here at the ballpark. For everybody here, Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern, for all the players who joined us up here today, Seth Nelson, Ben Green, Micah Coleman, and lastly, Braden Gostisha. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night, 6:05 first pitch, when the Sasquatch welcome the Prospects, and our coverage will begin, as it always does, around 5:45 local time. Thanks so much for watching. Final score 14-4. I'm Ari Wall saying so long here from Black Hills Energy Stadium.